Well, Elder Abuse weekend just wrapped up with Jon Jones destroying Stipe Miocic. While UFC 309 just finished, we still have a lot of questions. Will Dana White make the Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall fight?
I'm not really worried about the Tom fight. I'm really worried about the Pereira fight.
Who gave Jon Jones the second round? Why was there no tweets from Conor McGregor? And how was Stipe okay after the sound of that Jon Jones spinning back kick? Let's start by recapping the main event between Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic. There's a lot to talk about. The craziest thing is how they prop poor DC up on the octagon for the first time ever they did something like this, just to prop up two guys who beat him, right? I'm sure that DC was not happy about this. Got knocked out by both guys. Like, you gotta really feel bad for DC here. But Jon Jones opened the fight by throwing tons of body kicks, right? And this was foreshadowing what was to come. Jon Jones got an early takedown, and from here, I felt like this was like the old Jon Jones, right? I mean, if you look at Jon Jones versus Shogun Huov, if you look at Jon Jones versus Lyoto Machida, this was very much that. Like, I was expecting Jon Jones to come in here kind of more like a Dominic Reyes or a Thiago Santos type of Jon Jones. I was very surprised. Like, I don't know if it was the custom shorts or something like that, but this guy really brought it tonight. Clear 10-8 round for Jon Jones. And then we get to round 2, where it's basically more of the same. Jon Jones picking him apart at range. I thought this was a clear Jon Jones round, but I see Derek clearly gave Jon Jones the second round. Like, let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys think that's ridiculous? Maybe I have to rewatch it, but I did not think that Stipe had any chance of winning that round. And round 3, Jon Jones finally takes this thing home, right? Still, you know, throwing to the body, really hurting Stipe, landing a good right hand at one point. And then Jon Jones finally throws a spinning back kick, which was the shot that I had pointed out to you guys in my prediction that Jon Jones has been drilling a lot, and absolutely obliterates the ribs of Stipe Miocic. You guys heard it before. And yeah, I thought this was a pretty good performance from Jon Jones. I want to talk about that in a second, but Stipe did retire, no shock there. But I want to most importantly talk about the fact that Jon Jones has finally, you know, opened the door for a Tom Aspinall fight. Normally he's like, I am not, this is it, no way. No, in the post-fight interview, Joe Rogan straight up asked him, like, hey, what are you looking at? Are you looking at Pereira? Are you looking at Tom Aspinall? Jon Jones says as long as the UFC pays him right, he's gonna give the fans what they want. And I mean, we all know what the fans want, right? They were shouting Tom Aspinall's name at the press conference, right? This is New York City, not England. Now, as for the Tom Aspinall fight, don't get me wrong, I am more hopeful than I was 24 hours ago. If you would have asked me 24 hours ago, I would have said no shot this fight happens. But Jon Jones has opened the door saying that he is open to negotiations, and I still have a lot of hesitancy with that. Jon Jones had this to say during the post-fight press conference.
I'm not really worried about the Tom fight. I'm really worried about the Pereira fight. That's what I want to do. If the UFC wants to have me back, and I think that's the fight they'll make.
And Dana White also said during the post-fight press conference he has no interest in making this Alex Pereira fight, but Jon Jones says that he wants fuck you money, right? He says he looks at Jake Paul, he looks at a lot of these boxers making all this money, he wants some of that. He literally says that he wants enough money that he is totally fine with losing. But I'm just scared because this is giving me real shades of the Francis Ngannou situation. We all wanted to see Ngannou versus Jones, and it didn't happen because Jones wanted more money, and then eventually Francis left the UFC. So even though I'm a bit more hopeful, I still think this is too good to be true. I don't think the fight is going to happen. I'm like 50-50. I don't know, guys. I think Jon Jones made great improvement in his boxing, right? His head movement looked better than it ever has, which is what I've been criticizing Jon Jones for a minute for. I've been saying his boxing is the weakness, but yeah, it looks like he's really tightening it up. And while I know that haters are going to say, oh, Stipe looks so slow in this fight, and just try to take away Jon's win, while yes, we all kind of figured Jon was going to win, and I am not a big fan of Jon Jones as a person, of course, I still thought this was pretty impressive because Stipe did not even like have any success there. And I think a lot of that had to do with Jon Jones. I think it was from the fact that he was setting a pace early, kicking to the body, you know, going for that takedown. And Stipe was just thinking the whole time, what is Jon gonna do instead of getting any of his shots across? Like, everything he threw, it just seemed like he was waiting. Like, is Jon gonna take me down? Is he gonna kick me to the body? I gotta be ready. And that's all credit to Jon Jones. You cannot take that away. To talk about the co-main for a little bit, Charles Oliveira beat Michael Chandler by decision, which, you know, this fight going to a decision was like a plus 1100 underdog, which was crazy. I was very surprised to see Charles Oliveira, you know, actually implement the game plan that I laid out in my prediction video, which was to take down Michael Chandler, really use the grappling. But the 5th round was great, and we're gonna get into it right now. Obviously, Michael Chandler was down 4 rounds. Like, he needed to just go for it, and he went for it. He hurt Charles Oliveira at one point. And I think one of the biggest mistakes that he made was the fact that, look, Charles Oliveira, his eyes were closed. It looked like they got stunned with a jab, like a jab might have hit his eye. And at one point, Michael Chandler throws a huge looping left hook that knocks Chandler off balance, and from there, Charles Oliveira gets the takedown. I think that's going to be something that maybe haunts Michael Chandler, because that was a huge missed opportunity. Like, you know, Charles Oliveira was against the cage, but from there we had a lot more controversy because Chandler does almost finish Oliveira with a lot of back of the head strikes, which, you know, the referee did not say anything about. Michael Chandler also had some fence grabs in there, some eye pokes apparently. Somewhere Dustin Poirier is feeling real vindicated right now.
He just got here. Who's we? Who the fuck is we?
But I think my favorite part of the fight was when Michael Chandler actually like just slammed Charles Oliveira again, recreating that moment from their first fight. It was definitely one of the more legendary moments of the night, honestly. early. And yeah, Charles Oliveira is next for the title, right? I am actually excited to see him and Islam Makhachev rematch. That's assuming, of course, if Islam Makhachev gets through Arman Sarukian. Michael Chandler called out Conor McGregor. I don't think this is likely for his next fight, seeing that McGregor is looking like he might fight late 2025, according to Dana White. And I mean, to me, that means earliest international fight week, which is June. And I mean, Conor was also really surprisingly quiet tonight. Like, I don't know if it has anything to do with the lawsuit, which I'm going to make an update video, I believe, Monday on the whole lawsuit situation. Some massive updates have come in. Bo Nickal also put on a terrible performance, and I was right. I said the fight was going to be boring. I also said that, guys, like, I don't get Bo Nickal being such a big favorite, which was right because the fight was competitive. I don't think you could score it for Paul Craig. But yeah, the fans in there were not happy. Jim Miller pulled off a great guillotine choke against Damon Jackson. Mickey Gall got knocked out, which is surprising with legends like CM Punk on his resume. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. You guys are the best fan base in MMA. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.